Dogs that have this kind of a problem, they are extremely dangerous.
So Trump is trying to decide on a VP, and the best of MAGA, I'm being ironic, are lining up, with a couple of exceptions.
How utterly heartless do you have to be to shoot a 14-month-old dog?
Yeah, the Dakota puppy killer didn't make the list, but I don't think that was Trump's call. If you remember, Tiny Fingers isn't exactly a dog's best friend.
You do love your dogs, don't you? How would I look walking a dog on the White House lawn? Would that be sort of not for, I don't know, I don't feel good. Feels a little phony to me. He died like a dog. He lied like a dog. Choked like a dog.
He quit like a dog.
Just got thrown out of the Navy like a dog. And he was fired like a dog.
Maybe Trump didn't choose Old Yeller because she made up a story about meeting Kim Jong-un, and that made Trump jealous, because we know there's real love there.
I like him, he likes me. I guess that's okay. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say that? And then we fell in love. Okay? No, really.
Either way,
don't shoot a dog, okay?
Kristi Noem is done, as is her twin psycho from Arizona, Carrie Lake, who has learned the hard way that Trump feels about women the way Kristi does about dogs.
And I love women.
You're a nasty person.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
She starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions, and, you know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her, wherever.
Trump is a sexual predator.
Then, of course, there's Nikki Haley. She's not on the list, even after saying this.
So I will be voting for Trump.
This I don't understand. Even though Haley proves she's like the others, willing to offer up her soul rather than do what she knows is right.
Then the next day, Unhinged again says, for anybody that supports Nikki Haley, you will be barred from MAGA.
She's the only one of these numbnuts that brings anything to the table. In the primary, head-to-head with Trump, she got hundreds of thousands of votes, people who might now sit on their hands on Election Day. And I think that Trump may well choose her after considering the other lowlifes, like this guy, Tim Scott.
Hear me clearly. You cannot silence the American people. You cannot stop us from voting for change. Joe Biden's injustice, Joe Biden's two-tier injustice system, weaponizing the justice system of the United States of America against a political opponent, un-American. Joe Biden, you're fired.
Tim Scott is such a suck-up. If an original idea ever found its way into his head, he'd topple over from the shock. But Trump might choose Scott because he's black, and that's how Trump views black people, as one-dimensional. He either owns them...
Look at my African-American over here.
...or he thinks they're all criminals.
And then I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against.
And after this image, courtesy of Trump's white nationalists, does Scott think he has some special sauce to assuage these bigoted followers? Does he really think white supremacists actually stop and go, you know, not all black people are bad?
White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax.
Send the military into these black neighborhoods, make the streets safe, they'll complain about it. It doesn't matter.
We should send in the troops if necessary to restore order.
Enough with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? Oh, to drink out of a different water fountain. Big deal.
Oh, the legacy of Jim Crow.
But the real question is, why would anyone want to be Trump's VP? I mean, they do remember Mike Pence, right? You remember, right?
You know what I'm hearing, the Pence just caved.
No.
Is that true? I'm hearing reports that Pence caved.
No
I'm
way.
telling you, if Pence caved, we're going to drag through the streets.
But all of these half-witted cuckolds lining up to kneel before Donnie Indictable are the perfect collection of spineless followers, putting this political opportunity before what Trump has promised to do to America: vengeance, deportations.
President of the United States, the former president who wants to be the next president, said one of his plans is to round up the 11 to 15 million illegals and then go through them and find out who belongs here and who doesn't. Would you support that?
Absolutely.
And death for women and doctors who get abortions.
I'm 12 years old. I attend Buffalo Middle School, I play for varsity volleyball, and I run track. My education is very important to me, and I plan on doing great things in life. If a man decides that I'm an object and does unspeakable and tragic things to me, am I a child supposed to carry and birth another child? Am I to put my body through the physical trauma of pregnancy? Am I to suffer the mental implications a child who had no say in what was being done with my body. Some here say they are pro-life. What about my life? And does my life not matter to you?
Nationalized religion.
If you don't like our religion, then we don't want you in our country.
And putting Biden and other Democrats in jail. So in no particular order, the rest of the idiot brigade includes J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Tom Cotton, Elise Stefanik, Governor Doug Burgum, and Ben Carson, who, by the way, has been in a 4-year coma that no one even noticed. My favorite in this group is Marco Rubio, who Tiny Fingers has reduced to a pathetic little worshiper. Truth is, Rubio first coined the phrase Tiny Fingers to mock Trump's mushroom penis after being called Little Marco for 18 months.
And you know what they say about men with small hands?
This all while his Twitter feed was filled with biblical notes and sayings. And Jesus said to his disciple Judas, "Looketh at his small hands, he haveth a small staff."
Come on, man.
But in the end, Rubio, like Graham, Cruz, Ron Paul, and the rest, all capitulated to Pouty Fugwinkle and lay at his feet begging for scraps.
Worried are you that there could be violence emerging from all of this by Trump supporters?
Oh, not at all. Donald Trump's supporters are not violent people.
Fuck these Democrats!
J.D. is another cuckold, having compared Trump to a Nazi in the past, then backtracking and now doing the TV rounds trying to suck up to Captain Man-Titties. That said, Vance is simply unlikable. They polled voters in Ohio as to his popularity, and the voters had this to say.
He barfed on his wife's tits.
I know why Tom Cotton is on the list. Most Republican candidates are considered based on A, what they bring to the ticket, and 2, their ability to run the government if Trump should die. Well, Cotton is a straight-out racist, so that pushes him to the top.
Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton is facing criticism for describing slavery as a, quote, necessary evil.
And if Trump should die, I'm going to say that again. And if Trump should die, Cotton would run the country into the ground just like Tiny Fingers. So maybe?
I am the political prisoner of a failing nation.
In the end, I think Trump's going to pick Nikki Haley, and Haley will throw away any respect for herself and her family and say, sure. And of course, there is the unlikely possibility that Trump could be sentenced to prison and then his needs would change dramatically.
That is crazy.
And of course, Trump would definitely run for president from prison, and the GOP would tuck back their tiny junk and jump right into yet another national nightmare.
I just wanted to say, look, welcome to the end of democracy. We're here to overthrow it completely. We didn't get all the way there on January 6th, but we will endeavor to get rid of it and replace it with this right here. We'll replace it with this right here.
Amen.
But in that case, maybe the puppy killer would be the best VP. She could bake a cake with a file. And if that doesn't work, grab her shotgun and break him out.
I am the political prisoner of a failing nation.
Maybe Kim Jong-un could help.
And then we fell in love.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Damn right.
Am I wrong?
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I'm Chip Franklin.